Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Hello, everybody. Oh, I wanted to share my screen, but what I want to do is I want to get the agenda over here so that
I got it. Okay, there you go.
can you see it now? Okay,
Hi there.
fantastic. All right, so we're going to call our meeting to order, and I know I need to actually, Carolyn, I need to, oh, there we go. Now I'm going to read this. Okay, this meeting is being held pursuant to and in compliance with Ordinance 20A, an ordinance to ensure the continuity of government during the COVID-19 disaster. The opportunities for the public to access and participate in the electronic meeting are posted on the Albemarle County website on the Albemarle County calendar. Participation will include an opportunity to comment on those matters for which comments from the public will be received. So there we go with that. Welcome, Michael. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you too. And you as well. Emma.
And thank you, Carolyn, for
Carolyn, thank you.
helping us out. And so I have this little agenda that I had sent you guys. And can we go ahead and make a motion to approve this? Oh, what we're going to do is we did not meet on November 16th. So we're just going to ignore that. So, but we're just going to review the agenda and approve it.
Okay. I move that we approve the agenda as posted with the amendment to number 3.
And Emma,
I
can you second
second
that? Okay, fantastic. Okay, so just the 3 of us, so we're all in approval of that.
Yes.
But first of all, I hope everybody is well and surviving the storm. I was just telling Emma that I do not have any power or a phone line still, so I had to come to Charlottesville
Oh, well, there's an idea. I hadn't thought of that.
Well, you know, desperate situations require desperate acts.
And I'm still waiting on a COVID test.
Oh, how are you feeling?
I feel okay today. Yesterday, I felt pretty bad. So I was concerned that maybe, in fact, I was positive, but I'm still waiting to hear the results. So,
Oh, well, I'm glad you're feeling better. That's the most important thing, right?
yes, it is. You don't want this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Not good. For sure. Well, thank you. The 2 of you were the only 2 who responded to my email about listing out goals, or, you know, going through the BAP and actually creating, you know, giving some feedback. So I just want to really thank you for that. I know.
Well, I just saw that I kind of did it differently. So I'm going back through and putting the actual wording.
No, you don't have to.
I kind of,
what you did
I'm
was
already
perfect.
doing it.
Oh,
Because
no.
I said, I mean, I chose a lot of the things that, you know, but I'm just putting in the actual wording.
I figured you would, like you said the other day, you were going to work on this. So I figured you were going to come up with your own priorities, and I'll wait to see what they are.
Yeah, it was just, I just really thank you for doing that. I went through since I didn't have any electronic devices, all I had was this.
Oh,
Yeah.
And Emma, you don't have one, do you?
no, I don't.
Well, we have to see if we can get you one, but
Yeah.
I went through it and I told my husband I'm a real BAP expert now, because I even went through it and highlighted things, and, you know, I really had it, given it the careful reading that it deserved.
Good for you.
So, but it really, it made me a little anxious, to be perfectly honest, because I also have been reading Doug Tallamy's book about, you know, the loss of biodiversity. And I was, you know, thinking, boy, this is a big responsibility. And we got to do something, right?
I went through Barnes and Noble last week, and actually I was there 2 weeks ago when Talamy's book was there, and I thought, well, I'm just not gonna get it today. I'll wait and I'll get it next time. So E.O. Wilson died, so now there's 4 books there and no Talamy books. So so
Oh
much
my-
for waiting.
Yeah. Do you know Doug Talamy's work, Emma?
Is he the one of the people who was speaking? He did a presentation that you shared with us.
I think he did, didn't he?
I think I have shared one of his, like, he has the
Oh.
idea of having a national park in your backyard, creating, yeah, so,
I love that.
yeah. I
He's
do.
very much protecting lots of things, but trees particularly.
Yeah. And this idea that, you know, there's so little natural landscape left. And the importance of, you know, maybe one salvation is for taking our managed landscapes and managing them for wildlife is
Yeah.
kind of nature's last hope or best hope.
Yeah.
So,
And humans.
yeah, good point. It's going to be important for all of us,
What do you
right?
think
Yeah.
they're working so hard to go to Mars?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Good luck with that, is all I
Yeah,
can
good luck
say.
with that. That's right. Hmm.
But Emma, you wanted to share something.
Oh, I just wanted to share that I thought that I did the assignment wrong and I was fixing it.
No, it was actually perfect.
Okay.
I was really excited because I saw for the 3 of us, there was a lot of overlap in the things
Oh.
that we're interested in accomplishing. So, but if you don't mind, I'm just going to tell you a couple things that just happened. I was in Scottsville and working at just helping at the food bank, and I decided I'm just going to go to the library because I wanted to look at those little garden beds in front of the Scottsville Library and just see what they look like. And it just so happened that the librarian said that they had applied for a grant to create a pollinator garden. And I need to share with you the organization that she applied for the grant. She'll know next week whether she got it or not. But part of it includes, and she was saying that area to the south of the Scottsville Library where all the trees came down, that they actually want to turn that into some wildlife habitat with some pollinator gardens. But part of the grant included these seed packs, and it's all about helping the community to understand the importance of native plants and those pollinators. And so it also included doing outreach and educational programs at the library. And so the librarian's like, you know, even if we don't get the grant, let's do it.
Was it Anne? Were you speaking to Anne?
And yeah,
And
I can't remember her last name.
amazing.
Yeah, super enthusiastic.
She's the head
Yeah,
of the Scottsville Library.
yeah. So do you
Yeah.
know her, Emma?
Yeah, I know her pretty well. She hosted the goats. We brought the goats to the library in a few months ago with kids.
Oh
And,
my gosh.
we're gonna do it again in the spring. It's just gonna be like a annual sort of event.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, well, of course I thought of you. So maybe we can partner up with Anne to do some programming around pollinators and natural landscapes.
That would be so perfect.
Yeah,
And goats.
I love that.
and goats. Yeah, you bring the goats and you'll have lots of a big draw, right?
Yeah, the goats were very popular.
Mm.
Yeah, I can only imagine. They're so adorable.
Yeah, if you've ever stopped at Yoder's when the weather's good and the goats are out, people are all over the goats.
Yeah. They're very popular.
Yeah, so precious. And then I don't know. We also have this project, and Michael reported at our last meeting with the Albemarle County Historical Society. And of course, we'll want to go ahead and get that up and going.
It started, right?
Yeah, getting that started. And I'm meeting with Jim Barber. I have a meeting, I think next Wednesday, I think. And I'm going to talk with him about, this conservation mowing, and I have some other ideas that really it was like, how can we identify those places where we can carve out those areas and really have a more systematic approach. And I talked to Kim a little bit about this, and she was hoping to have a larger meeting, organize a larger meeting with the new park staff that has just been hired, whose I think his background is park planning, and also with Tim Padalino. But she recommended in the meantime to just try to get a meeting with Jim, and I did. And so I'm meeting with Jim and also the manager, the grounds manager at Darden Tow. Unfortunately, they mowed all the fields, and they should have waited until the end of February to do it, for better cover for wildlife. But so, that's going to be part of the conversation with him.
Yeah, I have to change the mindset. People think they want everything to look good for the, for the winter time, and because they're not trained or educated to know, what they should leave for the habitat, then they just, plunge right ahead.
Yeah, and it's this whole idea of just cleaning up, and maybe, that's when they had the staff available, and we never really followed through. I reached out to him in December, but it was just really hard to pin down a date to meet. So anyhow, that has happened. But I was over at Walnut Creek, and those places where they didn't mow, I think they look really beautiful. They still didn't, you can still see the broom sedge, which just looks really beautiful. I think it's sort of that golden color. And so they haven't done any mowing of those areas that we had laid out.
Christine, who's responsible for Ivy Creek? Is that a private foundation?
I believe it is, but there is some partnership with Albemarle County, and I think the city of Charlottesville. I'm not really sure exactly how that works. But
well, my point was they seem to understand conservation mowing. They do it, and they leave areas to grow wild. Is there a way to pull them in as kind of a subject matter expert? To give a little more validity to what we're trying to do?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe not necessarily for Jim for right now, but maybe we develop a partnership with them just from the standpoint of it's a good example of how this is done, and we could help people piggyback off of it or go see it to get some ideas or talk to them.
Have you looked at it? I mean, I haven't looked at it recently, but it did, to me, it seemed to really get away. They were actually doing some prescribed burns in that open field area. I just saw it last year, and it was, I don't know if they're actually doing an annual mowing, because I mean the blackberry bushes, it was just a total bramble. I think Pretty Creek is a better example of that.
Okay.
Have you been out there to see
that I have not been to. I drive by Ivy Creek about once a week. Yeah.
I mean, I just have not been there since January of last year, and it didn't look like, I mean, it looked like a big blackberry bramble to me. So
I walked it with my grandsons and within the last 2 or 3 months, and
so it looked good, huh?
Yeah, they're taking care of it as best they can right now.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, I haven't been out there to see it. I know that, like, when I talked to Jim, he was like, yeah, we know he said, we are doing this conservation mowing in certain areas like Pretty Creek in the county parks already.
Okay.
So, but I think it's really that education that has to go down to the individual park managers, the people that are, deciding when things are going to get mowed. So I think that having the conversation, Jeremy, who's the park manager for Darden Town, is going to be there. And so really conveying to him sort of what we're aiming towards, and also just getting some feedback from them as well. And then Emma, I was thinking they had those signs there that just says, I think, I can't remember what they said.
Like no mow.
Yeah,
no mow area or something.
it doesn't say that. It says something like wildlife meadow in progress or something like that. But I'm going to suggest to Jim, a lot of those signs got destroyed. And so I think what you did is really nice. And it's the possibility of using what you've created for to create a yard sign that they could put up. Because it's got the QR code there, and it actually gives, it has all those reasons why it's happening.
Yeah.
And so that was going to be one of my recommendations.
Yeah, and I also, just to add on to this conversation, like it goes all the way, like probably the most important people are the people who are actually doing the mowing. Because like I know my brain, oh, it's gonna be like, so annoying. And if you don't understand, you're just gonna be like cutting in closer and closer and just wanting to like clean it up so that it looks like you did a good job, So I think like if whoever the park managers are, if they have, pamphlets or like some information or that flyer or whatever it is to show the people who are actually mowing, that would be good. And also, we could do it in a different language too, if there's a language barrier, because I'm sure that comes up. Sometimes there's a lot of people who speak different languages in the county. I could do a version in Spanish or whatever.
I think that is actually a really great idea. If you would be willing to do it, I can offer that up, because I think that's really smart, because I think a lot of our landscapers are Spanish speaking. And so I agree that really is getting the information to the people who are sitting on the mowers.
Yeah.
Right.
So that they understand. Because
then they can, they can kind of, if they're excited about it or involved in it, then they'll like, leave this little spot, or they won't cut so close to the curb or whatever it is, they'll be involved with it, and it'll be so much more beautiful because of that.
Yeah. And I've been thinking a lot about some of those ground nesting birds. It's almost like we need a mascot. Say like, and if you mow this area, you could be right. There are little nests in these tall grasses, and, to somehow convey the value. And I think that's people are not really understanding the value of the tall grasses.
Yeah.
And therefore they don't see the beauty of them, because they don't understand why they're important.
Right.
Christine, what's your experience with Audubon and any other bird organizations that are local? Is that something that we could draw on their experience for that?
Yeah, I joined the Monticello Bird Club, and I keep on saying to myself, I need to be more active, and I need to start going to their meetings, because Kim and I actually gave a presentation. Peggy Cornett is a member,
right?
But yeah, just recently I was reading about this new program where and it's the Audubon who's actually leasing these rice fields in California from the farmers. And it's almost, they call it like an Airbnb for the birds. And where, especially for migratory birds. And it's just kind of an interesting model for like, can we share this piece of land with the birds, right? And but yeah, I agree, Mike. We got to get the Monticello Bird Club on board because I think that they could be really great partners in helping to spread the word, and also to have them out there maybe doing some birding in our parks, right?
Sure.
And be advocates. One of the things is kind of on my top goal is there's a hayfield over at Walnut Creek that a farmer hays. It's probably 5 or 6 acres. And what I would really like to see, like propose, is that we turn it into quail habitat.
Mm.
And that would be a thing where we could invite birders to come, you know, and have a trail through it, and the county can advertise it as a birding trail.
Yeah.
Mhm. I know the people who live there
Across the street.
across the street and then the other way.
Are they birders?
No, but they're naturalists.
Maybe we could get them on board. Maybe
Yeah.
what we need to do is get a few people who might be interested in helping to push for that.
Yeah, it'd be good if it's like signed by neighbors, you know?
Yeah, and people who regularly visit the park.
Yeah, they border on the park, and so they use that, one of those big fields, they walk it to the park every day.
You know, Christine, maybe it would be good for us to come up with some kind of a strategic communication plan, because I know some of the goals that are included in the BAP include partnerships. And,
Yeah.
you know, if we really worked on the front end of this to get the partnerships established, and then we could work on the goals, we would have the buy-in, I think, up front to then pursue some of the things that we're trying to get accomplished, instead of
Yeah.
trying to do that in the middle or towards the end and say, look, okay, we did this, so are you interested? Well, we didn't participate in this, or we're not involved in this, or we're doing
Yeah.
our own thing. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's a really good idea, actually, to like formally reach out to the Monticello Bird Club and ask them, you know, we would like to partner with you. I think for me specifically, looking at some of these grassland habitats,
Mhm.
and sort of like what you've done with the Albemarle County Historical Society. Like that was nice. That was a nice model for formalizing that partnership with them.
Mhm. Well, I'd be happy to help again, you know, do something like that with you if you wanted to, if you want a little, you know, tag along.
Yeah, actually it'd be great. I mean, I'm the kind of person who I just get on the phone, but I never like go through that formal process,
Mm.
right? Just because I haven't had that experience.
Well, you know, I'm relatively new, and it would help me network and get to know, you know, what's going on in other organizations, and then share what the committee is doing, what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I think that would be good. How should we proceed with the Monticello Bird Club? Should I go ahead and because we also have Peggy, who's a member.
What I would do from my standpoint, if it were me, I would call Peggy or meet with her, kind of describe what we'd like to do, and then see what her ideas are, see what her suggestion is. I mean, it's great to have somebody who's an advocate on the inside. I think that was one of the benefits of having the gal that worked with us that takes care of the garden at the
Patty.
Yeah, Patty.
Yeah.
Maya, she's already there.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, boom, you got somebody on the inside, and they're willing to partner with you and move along with what you're trying to do. So
Yeah.
I would say maybe Peggy's a place to start.
No, that sounds good. Well, I will do that. I'll reach out to Peggy and then see what her thoughts are, and I'm going to get back to you, Mike, on that.
Okay,
Yeah,
Alright.
I think that's a really smart idea. You guys, I'm gonna go ahead and show you, oh, this is the document that I created. And I feel like we had a lot of overlap in terms of our goals, because at the very end of it, I wrote down, oh, wait, there's Emma. Wait, where's Emma's list?
I replaced it.
Where is it? It was really good.
I'll put it back.
No, I really liked it.
Okay,
Yeah, put it back.
I was like, look how long everybody else's are.
All I did was
Mine is
cut
so
and paste
short.
I just cut and paste all that stuff in there. Where is it, Emma? Oh, maybe I'm gonna refresh it. See if we can find it.
I'm still getting it.
Okay. But I think that all three of us agreed that, like, goal number 4 in the BAP is to promote management of the county-owned lands, public, right? And I just wanted to, this has been kind of a long-term goal of mine, is to actually find a contact with the county schools. And I need to talk to Kim if she has some ideas about how to really dig into that. I'm also on the SWAC committee, and we've been working with Lindsay Snooty about composting in the schools. And it's a hard time for the schools, and I just keep on waiting for a better opening. But I'm thinking, you know, the grounds people are not the ones that are going to be so heavily impacted by COVID. So it's like, maybe the key is to find the person who's in charge of maintenance of the grounds and make an impact there, or to go through the principals. But I just don't want to give up on this, because I think that there is a lot of opportunity. And maybe that'll be part of my conversation with Jim, is who is the best person to speak with.
Well, I would see if you can, if you can reach out to somebody at the right level, and we can talk about that would be willing to come to some arrangement or some agreement on paper to make a commitment. Because what happens is, these other folks have their own priorities, they have their own agendas. I've had experience trying to work with somebody, in a situation like a supervisor or a manager or something like that. If he doesn't have somebody above him that sees value in what he's doing, they look at that as a waste of time, and they're not gonna make that commitment.
Yeah. And maybe also one way to do this, to go back and talk to Gabe Daly, because, reducing the mowing is going to have, that is such a low hanging fruit for climate action.
I have another idea.
Yeah.
Why not try to, at the same time, find the right person in the system, the school system. At the same time, why not approach a PTA or whatever the organization is called at this point? Now you've got parents, and making them aware of what the opportunities are, what you're trying to accomplish. This benefits their kids while they're being educated. You get teachers involved, they get excited about it, and you could approach it that way as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to try that. I think that's a good suggestion. Over the summer, I tried the PTA. There's like the PTA overarching organization, because I wanted to work on the school composting. And it was a little bit of a dead end, but that was before the school year has started. So I think it's worth a try to go back in and look at the various websites of the schools and see if I can make a contact with some of those PTA members.
Well, the science teachers and those that deal with educating the kids about a myriad of things associated with science are another avenue as well. And they're part of the PTA in many cases.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Yes.
may have curriculums already developed or want to develop curriculums that do some of the things that we're trying to accomplish, or set things up so that we can accomplish some of those things and they can take advantage of it.
Well, speaking of that, I actually, every once in a while, I go on the United Way website where they post looking for volunteers. And I saw that somebody from the community lab school, that's the charter school that's over on Forest Avenue,
Mhm.
is actually looking for somebody to help design their landscape. So maybe I was at the moment, I'm like, this could be a really good opportunity.
Right, right,
Because they're asking for it, right?
right. They're looking for somebody to help. Yeah. Help
Yeah.
them.
So I need to do that. Well, I'm writing
And
this down.
I think what it comes back to again is, what are we offering? Because you're not going to maintain a garden.
Yeah, you're
Did
right.
you lose me?
So yeah, you were saying like, what are we offering? Because we are not going to offer to be the maintenance person for the garden.
Right. So I think we need to get clear on that before we start like partnering with people. I mean, I think it's a great idea to be brainstorming, but I just think it would be good to be clear about where this is going, which goals it meets.
Yeah.
And-
From my perspective, what I'm looking is just conservation mowing. It's like, can you leave this area and only mow it once a year? And what I would love to do is like, if we could get some help with some signage, even those wonderful signs that you have, Emma, put them on a yard sign. And then that way it requires no, we're not getting in there and managing it or taking care of it. What we're just saying is that wild landscape is going to be great bird habitat. All you have to do is just stop mowing it. Or mow it once a year at the end of February. Or you can mow a path through it. And we're going to give you a sign that helps explain the value of this. And so for me, that's what I'm really looking at, because we've got this goal number 4, but we also have goal number 13, which is identify, restore, and protect prairie and savanna habitat. And recommendation 4 is implement mowing regimes aimed at promoting biodiversity for areas maintained as grasslands on county properties. So it's right there in the back.
I love that. I love the simplicity of that. That offer. And yeah, I think if we're working with like the public school system, there's a way, that you can get it working at one school, and then it just sort of, you can work to make it just become, the common thing to do if you have a big, space of grass.
Yeah. Like, Emma, I don't know if you drive by Walton Middle School, but you do, right? Because you go down Red Hill Road, and that there's that strip between where the river is and where the driveway is.
And it's too steep for.
And I'm like, even if we said, can you not mow that little place right there? And what, I think that some of the selling points could be habitat for birds, but also protection of the Hardware River in terms of runoff. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking, something really simple.
Yeah, I really like that.
But, and also, I mean, I'm finding this recommendation in the BAP. It's also in the climate action plan, reducing the mowing. And it might be in the comprehensive plan. I need to look, if that gives us anything to work from. see.
I think there's lots of areas in Scottsville too that could benefit. And I know that the town council would be really open to it.
Emma, did you notice that, well, last time I was in Scottsville, I saw that right in front of the florist shop, you know, one of those, I don't know what you call it, the where they have the tree that comes up out of the side.
Yeah.
That one of those places, there's a sign that says like wildflower garden in progress or something like that, pollinator garden.
I haven't seen it yet, but I knew they were going to be installing those.
Yeah,
And I want to remember to write Anne that if the grant doesn't go through, there's this woman in Scottsville who does these plantings, and she's doing them in those, like the tree areas.
the tree wells, right?
Tree wells, yeah, down the main street of Scottsville. And she's just local, so I'll have to connect her and Anne if that doesn't work with her grant.
Yeah, do you know her?
I haven't met her, but I've been on her website. She's a Scottish woman.
And oh gosh, maybe what we need to do is we need to meet with her and we could form a group.
Yeah.
And I wonder if she is part of SCAN.
I don't know if she's part of SCAN, but she might be.
Yeah,
I'll find her name and share it.
that would be great.
Yeah.
So while we're on this topic of the no mow areas or the conservation mowing, the other thing that I wanted to propose to Jim, and actually I would love if Mike or Emma, if you guys would be willing to help me, is to actually set up a table out there on, you know, sometime in the spring when there are a bunch of people after COVID's finished with, haha. But you know, when they have a bunch of people there for a soccer game or a baseball game, that we could bring out the BAP maps and just set up a table and, you know, to talk to people about the conservation mowing areas. And then we could also, because the Rivanna River and Darden Cow is in one of the conservation focus areas, to really help people understand that. And that would actually satisfy goal number 1, to recognize the importance of the 3 conservation focus areas. And I thought, well, maybe that would be an opportunity to communicate with a large number of people, and also, you know, be able to talk about those conservation mow areas.
Christine, are there some activities that the extension is offering in the spring or during the year that involve 4-H and other youth groups that may have activities that bring parents out, that we could find an opportunity to do something like the table at those events as opposed to sporting events?
I don't know. You know, I have never been involved with 4-H myself. I know that there's the Envirothon, but I've never participated in that. So
I mean, there's our audience. I can check with Trish and some other folks at VCE,
yeah,
and see what they're planning, what their opportunities are.
yeah, that
this year.
sounds great.
Okay.
That would be really great. I think that's, you know, that is a good audience,
Yeah.
because those people are usually farmers. So I think that would be a smart idea.
Okay.
Christine,
Yeah,
do you have a pen? I can give you the name.
yeah.
Her name is Nicola, and it's Wild Ginger.
Oh, I know Nicola.
You do?
Yeah, because I was trying to get certified to apply pesticides.
Ah.
And so I reached out to her. And yes, yeah, I see that because on the sign it says Wild Ginger and the town of Scottsville.
Uh-huh.
So you're right, she would be a good person to partner with, and she has joined some of the NHC meetings in the past. So I should reach out to her again.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And-
We can maybe meet for a coffee or something and just brainstorm.
Yeah, yeah. I'll see if she's open to doing that.
Awesome.
All right, let's see, how are we doing for time? Okay.
Right after.
Okay, we've got 5 after. So what you guys, what I did is I just kind of went through, you can see what I did, right? Was kind of go through and
Good.
outline sort of my priorities of things. And I just thought to myself, what would I do in terms of going out there, and where would I would put my energy? And
Mhm.
oh, the other thing that I wanted to say for the invasives, I just feel like that's the other part of the conversation. Everything is resting on Jim Barber. God bless his soul. You know, if I could just ask him, can we get some training for park staff on invasive plants?
Mm.
You know, to have them, I know that Rod had offered that, and I just want to follow up. I did send an email to Jim and saying, you know, there are these workshops that are available, but he didn't get back to me. But I really want to make that part of the conversation.
Yeah, that
Is
seems like an important thing to
yeah,
educate park staff on.
exactly. And then I don't know if I shared with you guys the story, but over at Greer, I think I told Mike this, they had did a bunch of planting there, and not a single plant that was planted is a native plant.
You
And
told me,
so-
yes.
And then I saw this in the BAP where it says, what does it say? Require the use of locally native plants for landscaping on county-owned land and projects. So my question is, like, who are the decision makers, and how can they be informed and encouraged to use natives? Maybe that's a question
Yeah.
for,
You know, they probably go to Lowe's or, you know, Southern States and say, oh, that looks good. That looks good. That's colorful. That's colorful. Let's put that in. And that's the way they make their decision.
yeah.
That would be a great thing to follow up on though, and hear about, you know, who they were working with for that project.
Yeah, apparently they were working with the Garden Spot, and they're one of the few garden centers who are not part of the Plant Piedmont Northern Native campaign. So yeah, so that was very unfortunate.
Mhm.
And then I was looking through goal 20, which is educate the public. And I was like, I love all these ideas. And you know why? Because I wrote most of them. It was like, wow, those are really some great ideas. I wonder who wrote those. Oh, that was me. No, just kidding. But it is kind of true. Some
I
of
kind of
that's
did the
okay.
same
That's a
thing when
plan.
I
That's what
was
we have to
writing
work
my
with.
list.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
So, okay, Emma, share your list with it. I've spent enough time with my ideas.
Well,
Oh.
go ahead.
I just want to share this last one that I'm actually excited about is designate an official plant or animal on a yearly basis to raise awareness about local habitat.
Oh,
and then reach out to the master naturalists like Wild Virginia and Cape and see if
Okay.
we could get some buzz around those that plant or animal.
That's an awesome idea.
I would love to bring, I would love to bring stamps into this. I'm a stamp collector. I have been most of my life. There have been stamps that have been created throughout the years that deal with all of these things, animals, plants. You've seen them, you know about them. There's an education component that the Smithsonian has in their National Postal Museum that works with teachers and teaches folks how to use postal resources for education purposes. So if anybody's interested in that, we could certainly look at how we might incorporate that.
Yeah, it would be interesting just to look and see like what they've done already. And it could easily correspond with some of our local, flora, fauna, which would be interesting.
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
I'll see what I can find.
All right, nice. All right, Emma, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Okay. I was laughing though when you shared that before, because when I was writing my list, I was like getting so excited about all these things. And I was like, yeah, it's really all about education. And then I was like, oh, good thing I'm on the education subcommittee, because that's what we're working on.
That's right.
So yeah, I was getting really inspired and thinking about it. So I kind of just made a list of like where I'm willing to help and put my energy in at this point. And the first is what I'm good at, which is creating visual aids. So posters or infographics or newsletters whenever we need. My second was educating the public about biodiversity. I really enjoyed like having a physical presence at the Pollinator Festival. And I think it'd be nice to have set up, a couple more physical events in the coming year that we can just be present at. And I'm also interested in educating in other ways. Like I love the idea of having an official plant or animal every year. I also think it would be really interesting if there was a way we could have like a way we could sort of share information on a wider scale. Like if we had an Instagram account and we don't post our own stuff, but we just reshare helpful information for people. I don't know how that works with it being a county committee, but I was just getting really inspired about just getting information out there for people in diverse ways. And then encourage the county to reduce mowing and invest savings in native plantings, and continue to visit and survey important sites and create a system of guidelines for registering new important sites, and also build an info packet to share with landowners of conservation areas or important sites. And that was kind of because I was thinking it might be nice to have a goal where, 2022 or 2023, we visit every important site, and that's like kind of the year where we visit every single one and just take a survey and see what's going on. And then I was thinking, gosh, that would be so many. It would be really helpful if we were educating the landowners or the neighbors of important sites so that they can steward the land, and it's not our responsibility to have eyes on these places frequently.
Yeah.
So that's my list.
You know what? I really loved your list, Emma. And I just can I make a couple comments? I'm thinking how can we, I want to invite you to reach out to Serena at Cape and offer what you just offered, because I'm not sure what the holdup is in terms of, like, I've tried to give them information, but they have Like, does the county have an Instagram account? Like, why can't we be pushing these messages out there about just basic things? You know, like in the middle of the winter, we could have something about turning your outdoor lighting off so you can see the stars, and how it impacts
Right.
wildlife. In the fall, about raking your leaves. Like, I feel like we talked about this tip of a month, and now, you've got such great skills in terms of like making that information fun and engaging. And so I almost feel like maybe we need to have that conversation with Serena again. Like, we've got Emma here that can help create this material, and she wants to do it. How can we get it out there? I don't want you to do it and then not have it go anywhere.
Yeah, of course. Well, the county does have an Instagram account, and that's actually where I get most of my county information. I wasn't even aware there was an email list. I'm on it now, but I'm a different generation, I guess. I was getting it all from their Instagram account. But I get the impression that every post has the county like symbol on it. So I have the impression that each post has to go through, obviously, like a vetting process, and they have to put the symbol on it.
But I wonder if they would be willing, if we said we want to create 12 posts, one for every month.
I think that would be awesome.
And then they could run them over again. They would be like timely posts that could go out in their on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, how many Instagram posts do you get from them?
I hate to interrupt you all, but we need to probably wrap it up in about 5 minutes.
Okay, thanks.
I see they're mostly like about events or like county notices. It's like more of a notice board. It isn't like a lot of information. But I'll reach out to Serena and just ask about it and see, because they probably would appreciate, useful content for people. So
yeah, and what I'll do, Emma, is I'm going to share with you some of the content we already created for that, because we wanted to have that tip of the month.
Yeah.
And so I'll make sure to share that with you so that you can kind of see what we were hoping to do. I'm not sure why, what happened to it. I don't know if it was kind of a glitch with communication. It was in the middle of COVID, but
right.
But I think it's worth pursuing again.
That sounds great. I love the tip of the month. Maybe we can just get that back going again.
Yeah. Okay, so we are running out of time, and it's so unfortunate because we haven't been able to finish our conversation here. But
well, why don't you, next time you're going to be in town, once we get over the snow situation here, maybe we could get together informally and continue to talk about things.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I've got some things on my to-do list, and we can continue this and keep it going. We have another formal meeting that Carolyn's going to host for us. It's going to be on February 3rd, I believe. And so we'll just keep this as a reoccurring meeting, which will be really great. And it sounds like we're not going to be able to have our full NHC meeting in January. So I think it will be good to, I'll try to catch up with both of you guys. How's that sound?
Sounds
Good.
great.
And Emma, when is a good time to catch you? Because you're working, but do you work every day?
I am free Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. All right. We'll make sure that we keep it up. Thank you guys so much for meeting with me.
Let us know if you need anything, Christine, and you're welcome to come and get water or charge your phone or whatever.
Well, yeah, we have a little generator. I don't actually
good.
mind it that much. It's kind of nice.
Okay. Well, we're just down the street.
Well, thank you so much. All right,
You're
Mike, Be well.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
feel better, Mike.
I'll keep everybody posted.
All right. Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, I've run out of time for the week, so that's why we can't keep going. I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you. Have a good
Uh-huh.
night. You guys stay
Bye-bye.
safe. All right. Bye-bye.